City should get the throw, which they do. Mendy will take charge, part of France's World Cup winning squad in the summer. Didn't get any game time, of course. Lifted by Aguero to Sterling inside the penalty area, turning one way in that. Oh, great save! Petr Cech at his near post. Good strong right hand from the goalkeeper to beat it away for a corner.
And if there's any doubts over Petr Cech's position, he's made a fantastic save. It's a great link up between Aguero and Sterling. Beats a couple of players, gets it on his left foot, tries to squeeze in at the near post, but Cech wasn't buying it and turns it around for a corner. But a fantastic save from Petr Cech.
That really was. Here comes the corner. It's turned wide in the end by Laporte. It's not going to count anyway because it was a foul. But yeah, I mean, that save was actually a bit better than it looked at the time, because positionally there was a bit of a gap at his near post, wasn't there? So he covered his angles.
Yeah, he got his
absolutely
angles
brilliantly in the end.
He got his angle spot on, Dan, you're correct. But it was a good shot from Raheem Sterling on his not so favoured left foot. Good power. It was definitely going in. It was on target. And good concentration from the Arsenal goalkeeper. And the last thing you want to do is concede so early against this team. It then makes the task so much greater.
The City already showing their skills. Raheem Sterling with an excellent chance. He took a bit of stick in the World Cup, of course, not for his work rate and the stuff he did off the ball for England, but a lack of assists and a lack of goals for him to convert the chances. But last season for City, it was a very, very different work rate story for him. His best season since joining, 18 goals and 11 assists in the Premier League for the England man. He's one shy of 50 Premier League goals as well, only denied by a very good save by Petr Cech.
Yeah, I think it's certainly Pep's improved that. His finishing, his end product has certainly dramatically improved in the last 16 months, and I think there's still room for improvement, but you know, he's still a young player. There's such a big future ahead of him.
Here comes City again, down the line by Mahrez to Aguero, trying to lose his marker, but Socrates has done well to stick with him, and Mkhitaryan in the left back position will clear it away, and it's blocked over the touchline by Mahrez.
And I think what they've done is they've changed Mkhitaryan to the left hand side. He's a little bit more defensive responsibilities than Mesut Ozil.
Ball is bouncing on the edge of the area for Sterling. Doesn't get hold of that shot at all as Guendouzi gets in to disrupt things, and now Ozil breaking down the right hand side over halfway. Ball square infield to Xhaka. Good vision from the Swiss. Spots Maitland-Niles in some room, and he's pushed over unfairly by Riyad Mahrez. Free kick, Arsenal taken quickly. Here's Mkhitaryan, the run at Kyle Walker to the byline and flashes a drive in, and swallowed up fairly comfortably by Ederson at his near post.
Good run from Mkhitaryan, showed Kyle Walker a clean pair of heels, just couldn't find the cross that was needed to cut it back, but that's better. I think that's a better balance for Arsenal. Mkhitaryan on the left hand side, giving a bit of protection to young Maitland-Niles.
Here is Mustafi, wants to clear it down the line first time, but the options aren't there, so it goes back to Petr Cech, flicked on by Aubameyang. Can't find Aaron Ramsey, who's run beyond him. Ramsey, of course, still in dispute with the club about trying to sign this new contract. He's denied some reports circulating that he's after £300,000 a week in order to put pen to paper, but had a contract in the summer, and obviously Unai Emery very keen to try and get him to stay. Here's Bernardo Silva, carrying the ball back towards the halfway line. Stones will try and open it up down this left hand side now, and Laporte. Sterling moving inside off that left hand touchline. Support from Bernardo Silva again. He's busy as always. Mendy's cross is blocked away by Bellerin. Sterling finds Aguero just inside the box. Back to Sterling and tries to just dink it through to Gundogan. Arsenal close the door. And here they come again though, City. They just won't give up. Step over from Mahrez to the byline. The cut back again is too close to Cech. but this wave after wave of City pressure, it's incessant.
Yeah, and I think he chose the wrong pass, Raheem Sterling. He should have played it wide to Mahrez earlier, tried a more difficult pass. Mahrez was in oceans of space, could easily have got the shot away, but yes, I think City have finally clicked into top gear, moving the ball well, asking questions, and what I said at the top, Arsenal are going to have to be very resolute, very disciplined.
But with Raheem Sterling, I mean, that encapsulates some of the infuriating parts of his game. That final product, here's Aguero, there's no problems with his. Moved out to Bernardo Silva, now back to Mahrez, whipped in left-footed, away by Bellerin, picked up by Mendy, and now Sterling running across the edge of the penalty area, still with Raheem Sterling. Oh, super goal! Raheem Sterling cuts his ear to the Arsenal fans as he gives the champions the lead with a stunning strike low into the left-hand corner of the net, and the champions are off and running. It's a 50th Premier League goal for Raheem Sterling. 15 minutes gone. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 1.
Yeah, and he does get criticism for his end product, but he cuts inside. I think Bellerin should do better. Raheem Sterling cuts in his right foot. Guendouzi comes out, he doesn't make a good enough challenge and shoots through a body of players. Check, slightly unsighted. Might have took a touch off Socrates as well to make it even more difficult. But I think that's more than Man City deserve. They've been asking questions, and like I said, they've got to be more resilient than that there. That was far too easy for Raheem Sterling to cut inside on his right foot and get the shots away.
Tremendous strike from the edge of the area. Just seeing that replay, Steve, I'm not quite sure what Petr Cech was doing there. I know he was slightly unsighted by his defence, but he just didn't seem to react. It almost as if he expected the ball to be going wide.
I think he was unsighted, you're correct. There was 4 or 5 bodies in him, and it shoots and it takes a slight nick off Socrates. But yeah, maybe
his arms didn't go out.
Maybe a keeper, because he was unsighted, he couldn't react quick enough. But I think Arsenal defensively could have been better there, particularly Hector Bellerin and Guendouzi coming out in the defensive midfield area. Just wasn't good enough. Didn't move their feet quick enough to stop Raheem Sterling, and he had a free shot from the edge of the box. That's just not good enough.
And he absolutely smashed into the camera behind the net as well, which immediately looked like it might have gone wide. But no such luck for Arsenal. Nestled into the bottom corner of the net, and Manchester City lead. Raheem Sterling, who was denied by a very good save at his near post by Petr Cech in the opening 10 minutes, has finally got past the keeper on 15, and Manchester City are off and running. Mahrez, lovely ball from left to right, taken down well by Sterling. Mendy's going to keep this in and almost embarrasses Cech at his near post. It's a flying stop by the Arsenal goalkeeper to turn it behind for another corner, and Arsenal all over the place at the minute, Steve.
Yeah, they are, and there's overlap. The 2 full-backs getting forward. This time it's Benjamin Mendy down the left-hand side, gets an overlap, gets to the byline. Mesut Ozil tracks the run back, but the deflection off his foot nearly deceives Petr Cech at the near post, but he makes a good save. But all at sea at the minute, Arsenal are hanging on.
Second corner for the champions, the first from this left-hand side. Mahrez will take the outswinger, aimed towards the penalty spot, and Maitland-Niles heads it clear, and then that's a poor ball out of defence by Hector Bellerin, straight out of play.
Yeah, they're a little bit nervous at the minute. They're up against it, they're on the back foot. They've just got to hang in there and make sure that one doesn't become two. Then it will be an absolute impossible task. I think the manager, Mr. Emery, will learn a lot about his players, about their mindset. He knows about their ability, they've got ability, but can they hang in there when times are tough? In the past, that's been a big criticism against Arsenal, especially against the top 6 teams.
Yep. Only won a couple of games against the so-called Big Six last season in 10 meetings. Compare that to the champions, who won 8 out of 10. Here is Aguero, who's normally always 10 out of 10. But his ball towards Mendy is blocked by Mesut Ozil, who finds himself in the right back position, needs some help. Mustafi comes to assist him and clears it up towards the halfway line. That's a good flick by Aaron Ramsey to Aubameyang, who's had absolutely nothing to feed on at the moment. Mkhitaryan somehow manages to jab it through to Guendouzi, and then the youngster makes the wrong decision. Aubameyang had gone inside him to the right, and for some reason he played the ball to the left.
Yeah, he needed to make his pass earlier. Aubameyang had made a good run in between the full-back and centre-half. Guendouzi elected to wait, played the ball outside, and the chance was lost.
Maitland-Niles does well to stay on his feet, carry the ball 15 yards. He's got some help from Mkhitaryan, who gives it him back. That's not a bad cross into the box either from the youngster. He's come across to Mesut Ozil on the other side of the pitch. Needs some help. Bellerin is there. Xhaka spins away from Bernardo Silva, drops it in on that far side. I think it's going to skid away from Maitland-Niles off the surface. It does. Goal kick to Manchester City.
And I know they're trying to change the DNA of Arsenal. It'll take time, but that was a good cross from Maitland-Niles, but one person in the box. It's the same old Arsenal. Whenever they get a chance to put it in the box, there seems to be a lack of effort and desire for players to get it in and get a chance. You know, Mesut Ozil outside the box, Ramsey outside the box, and I felt for the youngster, he did well there. It was a good cross.
They just look a bit timid, Arsenal, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I looked before the game and I looked at it, and you look, Ramsey's lacking in match practice. You've got two debutants. You've got, Maitland-Niles is a young player. You've got Mesut Ozil, who doesn't really like to run back and really needs to get on the ball if he's not doing that and dictate the game. They can't seem to get him on it at the minutes, and it's all one way for Man City.
Yeah, they certainly look lethargic in the middle of the park, Arsenal, and it's starting to show. There's no team better equipped to pick you off than Manchester City. They lead by 1-0 here at the Emirates Stadium on Premier League Live. Raheem Sterling's 50th Premier League goal has given the champions the lead on 15 minutes, and much for Unai Emery to think about. The defensive record under Arsene Wenger in the last season of the Frenchman was terrible. 51 goals they let in the league. That's the worst in 13 seasons. Let in 73 in all competitions as well. Emery has tried to address that with the arrival of Socrates and stiffening the midfield with Torreira. He's on the bench this afternoon. The new goalkeeper is also among the substitutes. They're a goal down here. But here's a chance for Bellerin. Nice feet. And the Spaniard is only denied by a good block away by Ederson. And now at the other end, Mendy, dummied by Bernardo Silva. Mahrez carrying the ball to the edge of the area, all on the outside of that left peg. Comes back to Gundogan. Now to Bernardo Silva into the penalty area, right hand side for City. Who's got Sterling? Nobody. Who's got Aguero? Nobody. Oh, he's flashed it into the side netting. The angle was tight, but such is his deadly accuracy, Sergio Aguero. You half expected him to whack that into the other corner.
Just about sums Arsenal up. He did well. Bellerin out-fox Benjamin Mendy, nutmegs him, gets onto his right foot. Probably needed to shoot to the far post, shot straight to Ederson, who made a save. Man City then go up the other end, and the only thing you would have thought that Sergio Aguero would have made better opportunity of that chance, but that's what I'm talking about. You're at the most vulnerable when Man City is whenever you're attacking them. The pace they've got to expose it and hit you on the counter-attack. And we just watched Petr Cech trying to organise that Arsenal back four.
He's a man for the big occasion, of course. Sergio Aguero notched his 200th goal for the club in that Community Shield win over Chelsea. He's got 4 goals in his last 5 matches in all competitions against the Gunners. Oh dear, oh dear. We almost saw a completely ridiculous own goal by Petr Cech. Under no pressure at all, he's almost kicked it into his own net. Here comes the corner.
It was a bizarre moment, wasn't it, Dan?
What was going on there, Steve Lomas? Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, the ball goes into Guendouzi, he gives it back, it's tight. He obviously tries to play it out to Mustafi and nearly just misses his own right-hand post by about inches, we're talking about. It would have been the most bizarre own goal from a goalkeeper I've seen in many a year, and it's a big let-up, but it just seems to be evident there's panic in the Arsenal team. They've lost a bit of composure. Man City are putting their foot to the pedal, and they haven't got any answers at the minute.
They look scared, Arsenal. They really do. And Petr Cech, he made 6 errors that directly led for goals last season, which led to many questioning his position in the starting lineup for Arsenal. And he almost produced one of the most bizarre you'll ever see. Missed his post by a whisker. City almost playing themselves into trouble at the back as well. Mendy's ball to the far side is going to be kept in by John Stones just. I reckon that's gone out. Assistant on the far side says no. Stones got away with that for my money there. That's quick feet though by Mahrez. Lovely back heel by Gundogan. Doesn't find Sterling on halfway though, but it's swallowed back up by effective vacuum cleaner just in front of the back for Fernandinho. Stones inside his own box as well. They don't panic, of course, City. Lifted forward by Mahrez. Won by Aguero. Doesn't waste a touch either. And Sterling very nearly does though. Terrible first touch, but he keeps it in just. Still going Raheem Sterling. 30 yards from goal, and then it's a dreadful pass towards Benjamin Mendy. He's covered so much ground from left back, Mendy. He's almost like an auxiliary winger. Here's Mkhitaryan. That's a terrible ball. It's far too strong for Aubameyang, and it's straight out of play for a throw.
Arsenal were trying to exploit Benjamin Mendy being so far up the pitch, but it's a fantastic frenetic pace. Arsenal, fair play them, they're trying to take a bit of the game to Man City, but it's easier said than done, and it's finally set up. I think they've just got to get 10 minutes in the game, get a feel of the ball, just try and quiet this Man City team down, because at the minute they're looking to really put the game to bed.
Yeah, they just need to, as you say, Steve, just try and string a few passes together. They just haven't been able to do that. It's frenetic, it's nervous, and City are going to take you to the cleaners if you're going to be like that. They're already 1-0 up, and they look like they're going to get more. Here is Gundogan releasing Sterling down the right hand side. Still with Raheem Sterling. Couple of step overs. Maitland-Niles times his tackle well, but Sterling has still got it. Still with Raheem Sterling. There's a deflection on that cross as well off Socrates, and that kills all the pace and makes it easy for Czech.
Yeah, good perseverance from Raheem Sterling. Maitland-Lang did well to get back with his covering challenge, but Raheem Sterling wasn't to be denied. He gets to the byline, puts in another cross.
Fernandinho has it robbed. Here's Ozil with a chance to break forward. That's a lazy layoff though from him. Gave Ramsey no chance really. 50-50 at best with Mendy. Gundogan brings it away. As soon as Arsenal get it in the City half, that's where all the problems start, Steve.
Well, that's the problem. When they start to commit people forward and you give the ball away, Man City are so adept at counter-attacking, and the pace they've got in the team is frightening. And like I've said, that's where the concentration and the discipline issue. The two boys in midfield have got to sit in there.
Mahrez is caught offside with that crossfield ball to him, so Arsenal will at last get a bit of a breather and a chance to reorganise. 25 minutes gone at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 0, Manchester City, the champions, 1. Raheem Sterling's goal on 15 minutes, and they've won it back through Aguero. Middle of the Arsenal half still with Sergio Aguero. Still with Aguero, he's gone down right on the edge of the area. The referee has pointed to the space inside the D where that foul took place by Socrates.
Yeah, I think it's a giveaway initially from Xhaka. But what we're talking about, the midfielder not getting on the ball, they're giving it away too cheaply. Sergio Aguero picks it up, drives at the Arsenal back four, and Socrates has to make the challenge, which isn't a good one. It is a foul, it is a booking, and it's a great opportunity with the abundance of dead ball specialists that Man City have got. But that was started off from a giveaway from Yannick Xhaka. Very sloppy in midfield and good pressing from Man City.
Well, it sums up Arsenal. Xhaka's looked off the pace, Ramsey's looked off the pace, and Guendouzi's just been a little bit swamped. And Mkhitaryan and Ozil have just had no positive impact so far. Okay, they haven't had much of the ball, but dear me, Arsenal not even anywhere near first gear at the moment, and now they could be in further trouble because this free kick is in a very tasty position for Manchester City. Aguero and Mahrez, the two men over it, Gundogan as well. Aguero's walks away. The right peg of Gundogan or the left boot of Mahrez? Who's it going to be? It's going to be Mahrez! Good save, surely off! A good double save there by Petr Cech.
What a save, what a strike from Riyad Mahrez. Fantastic left foot, elected power. Check stays to his right hand side, makes a save, spills it slightly, and then redeems himself by making a double save. He's nearly scored a bizarre own goal, but he's certainly kept Arsenal in this game so far. Petr Cech makes a good initial save, gets up strong. I think it's Laporte coming in there, who's collided against the post.
Yeah, he's okay. Aymeric Laporte. That was terrific stuff from Petr Cech. Goodness me, he's had a mixed bag in this opening 28 minutes, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Mahrez with the corner, and up go the heads. No one has gone there with Laporte at all. It's a free header. He's not the tallest centre-half in the world, Laporte. He didn't really get off the ground either, did he, Steve?
Yeah.
Where was the challenge there?
It's chaos. Chaos there in Arsenal. The marking, I think it's young Maitland-Niles is trying to mark Laporte, and he should have done better. You're right, Dan. It was a free header. Should have got it on target, and Arsenal are all at sea at the minute. You can only see this going one way. This could be 3 or 4 the way it's panning out at the minute.
Given away by Guendouzi carelessly. Gundogan though, wearing that mask to protect that facial injury. Cleared away by Mustafi down the line. That's hopeful though. Aubameyang's not going to get that. Ramsey's not going to get the follow-up either, because Fernandinho's too quick and strong. Now Kyle Walker will run up towards the halfway line. He's got pace to burn. Mkhitaryan is nowhere, and Maitland-Niles is also doing his best to run across him and obstruct his run. Both the officials, the referee Michael Oliver and the assistant on the far side, is fine with that challenge from Maitland-Niles. Walker's going across to have a word with the assistant and saying, what about that? Why wasn't that obstruction? I think he might have a point, hasn't he, Steve?
Well, I think young Maitland-Niles matches his run. No, I think he matches his run. Stays with Kyle Walker, because that was unbelievable pace from the Man City right back. Absolute turbocharged. Maitland-Niles does well, gets his body across, intervenes, and maybe gets injured in the process. Hopefully not too bad. I thought it's been a tough start for the youngster, but he's handled it well so far.
Yeah, he's on the floor at the minute. Ainsley Maitland-Niles from that attempted challenge just a couple of moments ago on Kyle Walker. So again, this break will just allow Arsenal to catch their breath a little bit as Hector Bellerin goes across, and so does Guendouzi to speak to Unai Emery. Clearly there's messages that need to be sent to the Arsenal engine room, because it just isn't functioning at all at the moment, 15 minutes before the break.
Yeah, and I think that's partly down to Man City's pressure. They're playing without the ball. Arsenal not able to get any passing rhythm. Yannick Xhaka, like you said, looked off the pace. Ramsey looks like a player that hasn't played in a bit. And the Arsenal of old, who like to play through the lines, haven't been able to do that. And like I said, that's partly down to Man City, but it's also an inept Arsenal performance so far. They've barely strung 2 or 3 passes together, and in turn it's creating more and more pressure.
It's not good. It's not good at the moment, but it is still only 1-0, and that will be some comfort. Manchester City they tonked everybody last season pretty much, didn't they? Only lost twice. Liverpool were the only team that seemed to work out how to get the better of them on a regular basis. And City beat Arsenal 3 times last season, including twice in the space of 5 days, the EFL Cup final, and a 3-0 win here as well back in March. 9-1 they won those 3 games on aggregate.
And young Maitland-Niles looks very gingerly walking there on the side of the pitch, and that'll be a blow for Arsenal. They have got Stefan Lichtsteiner that could come on and play right back and possibly push Bellerin to left back, but he's back on the pitch, the youngster, but he ain't moving great.
Well, they'll hope he can run that leg injury off. It looks pretty uncomfortable at the moment, as do Arsenal as a whole. 12 and a bit minutes to go to half time. They trail by a goal to 0. Here's the goal scorer, Raheem Sterling, linking up with Benjamin Mendy, who tries to return the compliment to Guendouzi. Is doing his best to hold Maitland off there, and Ramsey might be able to profit down this right-hand side. He's skipped away from Fernandinho, needs some support. Ball infield to Ozil, touched off here to Mkhitaryan, away from Stones, who sticks at his task very, very well. Stays on his feet, John Stones, and nicks it off the toe of the Armenian perfectly. Xhaka with the ball into the box, flicked away by Laporte. Ozil was waiting, and so was Ramsey on the far side. And it trickles away for a throw. Yeah,
best move in the match by Arsenal. Great work from Ramsey down the right hand side, feeds it into Ozil, who then slips it to Mkhitaryan. John Stones does fantastic, stays on his feet, gets a block, and then it comes out to Xhaka and he puts a good cross in the box, but same old problems, nobody wants to go and attack across goal.
Was a bit careless from Riyad Mahrez though with that clearance once Stones had made that challenge in the penalty area. Just hit it straight to Xhaka.
But it's better from Arsenal. At least they tried to get a few passes, and when they do that, they have got players that can create.
Yeah, the first real thrust we've seen from the Gunners from that midfield area, that's for sure.
Just seen a poor touch from Niles. He looks like he's struggling. He'll have to come off. Yeah, 100%. The sooner Arsenal get this ball out, the sooner they can make the change. Yeah, he's definitely not going to take any more participation in this match, and I think Man City are eventually going to kick it out now.
Yeah, it's a sad end for the young man.
And I think it was from that initial, when he matched Kyle Walker's run, I think in doing so he's jarred his knee. And as I envisage, I think it'll be Stefan Lichtsteiner coming on, and whether they move Bellerin to left back remains to be seen. But sad for the young man. It's been a difficult match, but I thought he's coped very well, and it's been a good learning process for him.
Yeah, looks like he's going to have a bright future ahead of him, young Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Always a difficult ask for him today, but he's acquitted himself well. He's got plenty of pace. He's tall for a left back as well, but that challenge with Kyle Walker 5 minutes ago has done for him. He hasn't been able to run it off, and he's had to be replaced. Stefan Lichtsteiner has come on, the 34-year-old free transfer from Juventus, fresh from winning the Serie A title last season. The first signing made by Unai Emery.
Wealth of experience, fantastic athlete. He won't have any trepidation coming in and slotting in at left back. Wealth of experience, over 120 caps for Switzerland. Fantastic pro, and it might actually benefit Arsenal, his experience.
Sterling into the penalty area. Bellerin trying to stay with him. The back pass towards Aguero doesn't quite find him, but Lichtsteiner has gone to stay at left back, so Bellerin will stay on the right. 9 minutes to go to half time. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 1.
I think, Dan, the only thing you can say about the game from Arsenal's positivity is it is only 1, because this game could be well and truly over between the combination of saves from Petr Cech and his bizarre nearly own goal. You know, this could be 3 or 4 and the point's well and truly gone.
I've never seen anything like that near own goal. That really was something else.
Certainly one for the blooper tapes if that had went in.
It was. Here is Walker down the line to Mahrez, who's had a very industrious debut for Manchester City. 13 goals and 12 assists last season for Leicester City. Such a key man, of course, in their magnificent fairy tale Premier League triumph.
Just looking at Arsenal subs, Dan, I would have liked to seen him, Unai Emery, being a bit braver and trying to get Lacazette and Aubameyang in the same team, maybe going to 3 centre halves. I think it would suit them better. Bellerin as a wing back, Stefan Lichtsteiner as the left side. Sorry, Dan, that was a bit of a chance there for Man City.
No, just the ball floated over by Mahrez. I thought that maybe Bernardo Silva was going to get on the end of that for a second, but too strong, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But yeah, interesting options there for Unai Emery, that he's elected to go with stuck with a flat back 4. He has been playing Lacazette with Aubameyang during pre-season. Arsenal unbeaten under Emery, as much as you can read into pre-season results, as Aubameyang tries to go down the right hand side. Laporte, a very well timed challenge, clearing it away for a throw. Ramsey takes it on the edge of the penalty area. Ozil drifts towards the corner flag, tries to poke it back towards Ramsey, but Mendy is there. One back by Guendouzi, and now Socrates inside the centre circle. Lichtsteiner with a long cross from the left-hand side, but that's easily caught by Edison.
Yeah, we're just talking about his experience. He just needed to stay on the ball there and give Arsenal a chance to get up the pitch, get stretched out and make a few passes. Just an aimless cross in the box and just gives the ball away. There's curve from Stefan Lichtsteiner, somebody of his experience.
We'll certainly see Lacazette at some stage in this match, particularly if Arsenal remain as toothless as they are at the moment. But can he find a way of playing Aubameyang and Lacazette together regularly? Both of them tremendous goal scorers. Of course, Lacazette 14 goals last season, 8 in his last 10 matches in all competitions for Arsenal, and Aubameyang needs no second introduction, of course, as Czech almost plays Guendouzi into a box spot above him, and Guendouzi's done very well in all fairness to him.
Yeah, he did. It was a poor ball into him, Dan. Had to fight for it, did well, showed good strength, able to relieve the pressure, but it's just an onslaught at the minute. Man City are stepping on, they're not giving Arsenal a moment in possession, and Arsenal just not been able to cope by retaining possession and been able to get the ball into Mkhitaryan and Ozil. And that's one of the problems is, and the criticisms for Ozil, a player of his talent should be affecting the games more at Arsenal than he is doing.
Mendy, short of the halfway line down the left-hand side. It's a straight pass in field, swallowed up by Guendouzi. He'll get it back from Mustafi. Plays it safe. Well, I say safe. I'm never quite sure with Petr Cech at the moment. The sort of afternoon he's had so far, but his decision-making is sure that time. Out to Socrates on the left-hand side, and now Arsenal will try and move with Lichtsteiner, but he's upended on the halfway line by Kyle Walker, and Arsenal will get the free kick inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 1. Check on the edge of his own penalty area. Bellerin.
I don't think any Arsenal fan would criticise if he was brave and threw Lacazette on as another striker and they had a go for it.
Gundogan, referee happy to let play go on, no fouling on the edge of the D, and Lichtsteiner over halfway. Now maybe there are options here for Arsenal. Mkhitaryan, some room on the right here for Bellerin. Level with the edge of the City penalty area. Support from Ozil, dinked with his left peg. It's a terrible cross though, straight onto the forehead of John Stones on the penalty spot. Stones was the only one there really. Ozil might get a second opportunity here. Steps away from Bernardo Silva and then wastes it with a dreadful pass behind Mkhitaryan, who made the run inside. And again the chance goes. Aguero on the halfway line for City. Mahrez is in so much room. Lichtsteiner's got to close the gap here. Mahrez, edge of the penalty area, into the box. Mahrez! Oh! It's just missed on that far side. Probably Petr Cech had that covered, but that was very, very close from Manchester City's new boy.
Yeah, and Stefan Lichtsteiner didn't fancy that duel. Backed off in the box, give Riyad Mahrez a chance to get the shot away on his left foot, tries to bend it into the far post, and I'm not certain if Petr Cech would have got to that. If he'd have got a little bit more curl, that would have been 2-0. But Stefan Lichtsteiner, we've said the experience might help. He's got to get up to the pace of the game. I know he's just come on, and it's difficult coming into a team that's not playing very well, but he's got to get to the pace of the game, and he's got to close Riyad Mahrez down quicker than he did there.
Yeah, it's tough for him, but you cannot take your eyes off Mahrez for a second, like a lot of these Manchester City attacking players. Here's Aubameyang out to Ozil, 30 yards from goal, chips to the edge of the area again. It's not high enough, away by Laporte. Sterling will contest this high ball with Bellerin. Sterling wins, finds Aguero now, and releases Mahrez over halfway. will now continue the assault down this Arsenal left-hand side. Slide ball pass to Aguero. Socrates at his back to Mahrez. There's room on the left-hand side potentially for Bernardo Silva. Headed away by Bellerin. Picked up by Mendy. Support from Sterling. 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. City leading 1-0. Laporte swings it to the right-hand side and Mahrez kills it instantly. Aguero's loose in the penalty area. That's a worry for Arsenal. Socrates eventually closes him down, but the Greek international does so at the expense of a corner.
I may be hoping they hold out 1-0. I know it's only one, but it's been so one-sided, it's been frightening, and some strong words need said at half-time, particularly to Mesut Ozil, constantly giving the ball away, very poor, offering nothing defensively, and maybe it does need a change. Maybe